Good morning, children. Welcome back again to your English language class. Our today's topic is reading comprehension. Children, let's understand what is comprehension and how to do it. Children, comprehension means a small passage which you have to read and then answer the questions which are being asked. Children, the main objectives of a comprehension is to read and comprehend the selection, analyze and evaluate the text. Children, let's read and understand this passage. This is a small story. Let's read and understand it. A merchant driving his ass to home from the seashore with a heavy load of salt came to a river crossed by a shallow ford. They had crossed this river many times before, but this time the ass slipped and fell when halfway over. When the merchant got him to his feet, much of the salt had melted away. Delighted to find how much lighter his burden had become, the ass finished the journey happily. Next day, the merchant went for another load of salt. On the way home, the ass purposely let himself fall into the water. The angry merchant immediately drove the ass back to the seashore, where he loaded him with two great baskets of sponges. Ass again tumbled over, but when he had scrambled to his feet, it was under the load 10 times heavier than before. Children, let's read it once again and try to understand. A merchant driving his ass to the home from the seashore with a heavy load of salt came to a river crossed by a shallow ford. They had crossed this river many times before, but this time the ass slipped and fell when halfway over. When the merchant got him to his feet, much of the salt had melted away. Delighted to find how much lighter his burden had become, the ass finished the journey very happily. Next day, the merchant went for another load of salt. On the way home, the ass purposely let himself fall into the water. The angry merchant immediately drove the ass back to the seashore, where he loaded him with two great baskets of sponges. Ass again tumbled over, but when he had scrambled to his feet, it was under the load 10 times heavier than before. Children, I hope you have now understood the story. Let us now take up the questions and find the answers of those questions from this passage. Let's take the first question. Where was the merchant driving his ass? So, children, let's find out the answer from the passage. See, children, I have found the answer from the passage, but we can't just copy it. We have to frame the answer. So, the answer will be, so children, the answer is the merchant was driving his ass to home from the seashore. Children, let's see the next question. What happened with them when they crossed the river? Let us try to find out the answer for this question from the passage. Now let's find out the answer. Yes, the answer is in the passage, the ass slipped and fell when halfway over. Children, but we can't write the answer exactly written in the passage. We have to make necessary changes according to the question. That means we have to take some part from the question also and then frame the answer. Children, let's frame the answer. The question is, what happened with them when they crossed the river? So the answer will be, we will take some part from the question. When they crossed the river, now we'll take from the passage, the ass slipped and fell when halfway over. Let's take another question. State whether the given statement is true or false. So the statement is, less of the salt had melted away. Now let's go back to our passage and try to find that the given statement is true or false. Children, see, we have find the statement in the passage, and the statement says much of the salt had melted away. But the statement given to us is little of the salt had melted away. This means the given statement to us is a false statement. Children, let's move on to the next questions. Here we have two questions. Find the word from the passage which means the opposite as light. This means that we have to find the opposite of the word light from the passage. And the second question is, find the word from the passage which means the synonym as happy. Children, synonym means the word having similar meaning. So we have to find a word from the passage which has similar meaning as happy. So let's move on to the passage again and see and try to find out the opposite and the synonym of the words given here. So children, the word from the passage which is opposite of the word light, that is heavy. And the word from the passage which is the synonym of the word happy is delighted. So the answers for the questions are, the opposite of light is heavy and the synonym for happy is delighted. Thank you children, and I hope you have now understood how to do the comprehension. Children, I will be sharing this comprehension with you. You need not to copy the comprehension, but just copy the questions and find out their answers and write them neatly in your English language copy. And one more last point children, you won't get the same comprehension which we are doing in the classroom in your examination. Children, comprehension means unseen passage or unread passage. So you will be getting an unseen or unread passage in your examination. So you need not to learn them, just practice them.